We're still weighing in on the issue of national security or insecurity. Let's bring in our guest, the legal practitioner, Mr. Okwe Banwo. He joins us virtually. Thank you, sir, Doctor, for coming on the program.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we saw your video. It was a viral video, literally lamenting the state of the nation in terms of national insecurity. What we are not sure of is whether or not the bandits handed over his body directly to government. That is still very unclear, and that clarity should be provided by the Katsina state government or the federal government, whoever is responsible for providing that clarity, or the military itself, since this is a former army general. But maybe let's allow you tell us how this feels and what you see as a characterization of this moment in Nigeria's history.
Well, thank you so much for having me. My first reaction when I saw the news going around, even the picture that is not being disputed, my first reaction was sadness. My second reaction was anger. And my third reaction was fear. Fear not for myself, but for what this says about the state of our nation. Now, I want to be clear. This is not just about Major General Rabi as an individual. Every death is tragic. Every Nigerian life matters. But a general is not an ordinary symbol. A general represents the military power, the sovereignty, and the authority of the Nigerian state. So when a retired general can be abducted and end up dying in the custody of criminals, whether it was due to illness, neglect, trauma, or direct violence, something is fundamentally wrong with the security architecture of our nation. What worries me is not merely the death itself. What worries me is what that says to ordinary Nigerians. If a man who spent his life serving at the highest level of the military can become so vulnerable to criminal elements, what confidence is left for the farmer in Zamfara, for the man in Fadeyi, the man in Kaduna, the teacher in Benue, or the businessman who is traveling through our highways? This is why I believe Nigerians reacted so emotionally to this incident. That's why I reacted so emotionally. And I'm disgusted that instead of the government explaining how our general ended up dying in the hands of terrorists, they are busy arguing whether the picture was AI or no AI. Is the picture we are talking about? They are not reacting only to the death of General Rabi. People were reacting to the symbolism of it. They were reacting to the feeling that insecurity has become so normalized that we are no longer shocked that on things that should shake our nation to its foundations. And perhaps the most painful part for me personally is that we are discussing how he died instead of asking the more important fundamental question: why was a Nigerian general in the hands of criminals in the first place? That is where I believe the national conversation should be. But of course, the APC people want to be arguing, is AI video, picture or no picture? They have the body. How did they get it? Did the terrorists do a drive-by, the way the Black Americans do a drive-by shooting and drop his body? How did they get it? Because at the end of the day, this is bigger than APC. It is bigger than PDP. It is bigger than even President Tinubu himself. It is bigger than General Rabi himself. It is about whether Nigerian state still commands enough fear from criminals and enough confidence from its citizens. A nation where criminals can abduct citizens with ease is a problem. But a nation where criminals can lay hands on our general, retired or not, and the entire country simply debates the details afterwards, is a nation that must urgently examine its security priorities. The fact that whether the picture was AI or no AI is not the scandal. The scandal is that our general died in the hands of abductors. Somehow they got his body back. The body did not fly from the bush into the hands of his son. His son said they got it. So how did they get it? Whether they handed it over in a gift wrap, whatever, or whether they dropped it at night, the important thing is that our general died and we are here debating. And the APC apologists will tell you, it's AI. It's not AI. See, that's what we are talking about. It's disgusting.
And you know,
General
Mr.
should not become just another headline.
Yeah.
It should be a wake-up call. Sorry.
Right. Mr. Banwo, some are asking who will be the next Rabi, especially if, you know, the state could not protect, you know, a retired general amongst many other generals that we have lost down the line. And against that backdrop, you are a lawyer, and Section 14 of the Constitution provides that the state shall provide security of lives and property to Nigerians. Now, can Nigerians go ahead and institute a suit against the administration, the current administration, over this failure? In Edo State, schools are being shut right now. In Oyo, there are worries over, you know, retaining or, in fact, leaving children in schools. And you could talk about other states of the Federation as well. In Ekiti, a major local government, there are young children, some as little as a little over a year, in kidnappers' den. And so, against the backdrop of this serious national security concern, should Nigerians be instituting a suit against the government over the failure of this basic component of the Constitution?
Well, in a country that works normally, maybe. But I used to indulge in that. I know, if you know me, you know how many suits are filed against federal government, but it's a waste of time. That is not going to solve the problem. The case will be in court for 7 years, and nobody's going to hear it. In any case, the government controls the judiciary too, you know that. So no, that is not the solution. The solution is for Nigerians to finally wake up and say no to these politicians who won't secure us. Election is coming. You don't vote on sentiment. You don't vote on tribe. You vote based on result. Mr. President told us on Democracy Day that Nigeria is safer. And I laughed. Safer for who? Ask anybody. He should ask his driver. He should ask the people that made food for him if they will tell him the truth. Nobody feels Nigeria is safer. So why is he lying to our face? We should punish them at the polls, from the governors to the councillors, with the only thing that we have that is effect that can do damage, our votes, and stand by. Personally, these days, maybe because I'm frustrated with the legal system, I'm not going to encourage anybody to go file lawsuits. It's not going to go anywhere, because the state has been captured by those who either oppress us or those who refuse to resist the oppressors on our behalf. So it's time Nigerians take matters in their hands. I'm not advocating violence. I'm not advocating killing anybody. But it's about time we take the matters into our hands and say no to all these politicians that won't do their job, whether they are our brothers or our sisters. And number two, we need to make sure we ourselves select the right leaders, because we keep recirculating the same leaders who have not helped us. And at some point, Nigerians have to take responsibility for the leadership that we have. Because I find it amazing that even today, you will see a lot of people who go out there defending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on insecurity of all things. You will see those who are feeding at his table or those who belong to his tribe trying to explain the unexplainable. And it's just mind-boggling for me personally, as a Yoruba person, that this is not us. This is not Yoruba people. I'm sorry, I'm going tribal here. Why should anybody be defending this government on his record of on insecurity? Generals are being kidnapped. Kids are being kidnapped. 46 people were abducted in Ogbomoso. Our government cannot go into the bush and go and get these kids. Yet they can go and get Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. They tell us the event is being organized by terrorists, by opposition, to make the country ungovernable. But they have never named one opposition leader. That is irresponsible. That is criminal. If they know them, they need to name them. They need to shame them. They need to arrest them. They need to jail them. By just telling us it is opposition orchestrating it, as the APC apologists are busy saying, then they should be arrested for treason. All right. Because if you know those who are doing this, yes.
Yes. Let's expand it a bit further within the time we have.
Yes.
There are three arms of government:
Yes.
There's the executive, there's the legislature, there's the judiciary. Now, let's say the government is doing what they can, and this is the best they can offer, because I want to believe that they can do better, but whatever is the encumbrance, we do not know. But we're seeing the result, literally. The military is doing their bit, but we're seeing the result, like you've alluded to. Because you're a lawyer, that's why I'm asking this question, and a citizen. Do you think the National Assembly, the Senate and the House of Representatives, they are doing enough to put feet to the fire of the president and his leadership to make Nigeria safer than it should be?
No, they're not. And let's not sugarcoat this. I'm not just a critic of the government. I don't belong to any party. But even telling me that the military is doing their bit, the government is doing their bit, is self-deception with all due respect. They are not doing their bit. Doing your bit means doing everything you can to be able to bring this matter to a resolution. When you hear government people saying, we know those who are doing this, and they did not produce anybody, that is irresponsibility at the highest level. The military is not doing their bit, because why is a retired major general traveling through what is essentially enemy territory with no protection? And you're saying they are doing their bit. Everybody is failing Nigeria at all levels. The military, who are crying now, they are irresponsible. They are not doing their bit. Mr. President, who has not even deemed that it is worth a national address that our general was kidnapped, or that 46 kids were kidnapped in Ogbomoso, is not doing his bit. And of course, the National Assembly, led by Akpabio, they have been a rubber stamp, boot-licking National Assembly for the last 3 years. They have not rejected one thing from Tinubu in 3 years. Have you seen that kind of National Assembly before? Akpabio and his colleagues are basically an extension of the executive. Anything Mr. Bola Tinubu puts before them, they approve it, yay or nay. Even when the nay are more than the yay, Mr. Akpabio will say the A's have it. We saw it on TV. So the National Assembly, that's supposed to be another arm of government to protect us, is in the tank with the executive. They see nothing wrong in the executive not being able to deal with it. Maybe you can single out Oshiomhole, who and one other guy, I forgot his name, one other Hausa guy, who have spoken out. But the rest of them, they are either busy looking for re-election or how they will share money. So to me, we have been failed on all levels. Even the judiciary has failed us. So let nobody tell me everybody is doing their bit. Nobody in Nigeria is doing their bit. If Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is serious, and I challenge him today on national TV, let him name those in opposition who he claims are behind this. After all, you can't make a claim if you don't have evidence or you don't know them. He has not mentioned one. He has not arrested anybody, and you're telling me they're doing their bit. So everybody seems to know, even Igboho said it. Nobody has gone to arrest Sunday Igboho and say, you say you know these people, you're going to name them in the next few days if they don't repent. How did you know that? I expect DSS to have locked up that man and make him divulge the names. But we're all just deceiving ourselves in Nigeria. Nobody is safe. My kids watch Nigerian TV and they don't want to come to Nigeria. I'm not exaggerating. They're like, that, don't go. Even me, they beg me not to come. That I'm like, no, Lagos is safe. They said, no, we see it on TV. They kidnap Obas. Abomination in Nigeria. And you are telling me
all right,
one executive is doing this bit? No, they're not.
All right, Mr. Bawa, there is an ongoing conversation. And when you were talking about naming, I can reel out a long list of times people have said, we know who we will name and we never get to hear. But I think this is a wake-up call with the greatest respect to everybody involved. The National Assembly, the military, and the president is a wake-up call. Nigerians are actually very frustrated. All Nigerians want is just a resolution to this madness perpetrated by non-state actors. Mr. Okpefano Bawo, thank you so much, a legal practitioner joining us virtually. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, I appreciate it.
And Bukola, well,
Jeffrey, our hearts go out to Mrs. Rabi Abubakar, who has lost her husband and is still in the kidnappers' den right now, as well as to families of the Oyo abductees, the Ekiti abductees, the Kwara abductees, and the Kogi abductees. And this is a call to the administration. If indeed they know who is responsible for the kidnappers, then the ball is in your court yet again. The legacy that this administration can leave behind, having criticized the past PDP government over insecurity, is to ensure that Nigeria is safe for all.
Well, that's it on the program. Yeah, Kari had to do some catch-up in just a moment. That's why you're not seeing him at the end of the show. But we'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jeffrey Zongababa.
I'm Bukola Koka. Sunrise Daily is up next. Bye for now.